Hey everybody, wow, didn't even pause. Good morning, happy Monday, happy MLK Jr. Day, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Do you say happy to that? I'm not sure. Let's say happy because we're celebrating him and today's his birthday or official birthday. Welcome to the TED Show. I'm with Tisha Ferron. No, say it in the French way.
Tisha Ferron.
Ferron. Please let us know that you can hear us and see us. That's so important to me. Especially today. Today's a crazy day. It took us a little longer because of operator problems, meaning me trying to get the lighting done, trying to get everything set up. Hey John, let me know you guys can hear us and see us so that we can bring Tisha on and talk about all of the great stuff that you have a lot. We have a lot to talk about.
Oh yes, indeed.
So I read your book, and we have to talk about your book. We have to talk about the power within. We have to talk about discovering the PAR method. So much good stuff. So thank you for coming on a Monday.
It's my pleasure.
And thank you for getting here a little early. Thank God you did. It never takes me a full 30 minutes to get set up, but wow.
It's the energy.
Ooh, it's some crazy energy. Oh, good. Thank you. Oh, Lena, thank you for letting us know you can hear us. All right, so welcome.
Thank you.
So how did was today the first time we ever met in person?
Yes, today is the first time.
Okay,
that we
see,
ever met in
I like
person.
that. But we've been talking so much, I feel like it's much more than that.
It could be.
But we've had a lot of things in common lately that we've had to talk about. So we've really gotten to know each other. And then once you sent me the unedited version of your book that's coming out, I was just all the more excited to have you on the show. So
thank you. I'm not going to cry.
Don't cry. No, you can cry. It's fine. First show of the week. Go ahead and cry. Okay. Thanks, Kim. So give us a little background on you.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited to have you here because I think you have such a wide background, and I was especially paying attention to it this morning when we were kind of chatting. I love to chat with the guests 30 minutes prior, get a lot of information then. You've got this wide range of a life story.
Oh, yes.
So give them a little background. Welcome.
Well, thank you so much for letting me be here. And what I have to say with Ted is that he is doing such a great service to the community. So let's give him a lot of support today, okay?
That's sweet.
A little bit about me. I've been in the Central Florida area since 1988. I was working in the corporate world, got into the radio, was known on Real Radio as Tisha, the love and sex psychic.
Wow, wait, we got to talk a little bit about that. So, real quick, where were you from before 1988?
Before 1988, I lived in a small town called Winter Haven. Prior to that, I'm actually originally from Englewood, New Jersey.
See, I was going to say New Jersey. See, I was born in Bergen County.
There you go, Bergen County.
I was born in Ridgewood.
Yeah,
so
Englewood.
I could tell there was a little bit of that left. I've been down here since I was 11, so I lost most of it. But
yeah, I still could talk like that.
I can talk. I say Frosty the Snowman every year for the kids.
Do you say coffee or coffee?
Coffee.
Coffee. There
Coffee
you go.
And water. Well, how do I say it? Something
water.
funny. Water.
Water. Yeah.
My wife's like, what? Water. Hey Travis. Hey Jenna. All right, so back to the love and sex psychic.
Yes,
so this is on Real Radio.
It was on Real Radio from 94 to 97.
Thank God I have coffee. Go ahead. Tell me a little more.
It was really a great show. I mean, people would call in, and I would just basically do what they call a reading and kind of tell them about their life, and they would call me for a private session as far as, where their life was going to go. That eventually, as far as radio evolves, it did, go. The show was eventually canceled, and so I went back into the corporate world.
May I ask a question? I've got to ask. I mean, I know they want me to ask. So you're not just all of a sudden go, oh, I'm going to take this job. I'm going to be a love and sex psychic.
Right,
so there's so many parts to that. How did you always have like a power, a belief? Tell us a little bit about the psychic part.
I do. I mean, I have a master's in psychology, okay, number one. And the psychic part or the medium part or whatever, it really comes down to this, that everybody has a sixth sense or a knowledge or a knowing about certain things. And you're like, okay, how did I know that?
Right.
Well, that's what happens to me. It's like, how did I know this? And I just go with it. So what happens is that 9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10, the gift that I give to people is typically right on spot. And there are times when I'll say, I got nothing, and that happens.
Right.
But it's just all in the way that people, the energy and how I feel. And I do believe that there is, a creative source, call it God, call it infinite power, whatever you want, that does truly guide us to where we need to be in our life. So, and that's what I do.
So can you share, just because I'm morbidly fascinated right now with this craziness, I love it though. On the sex part though, that's hard. So they call in, they want to talk about either their sex life or lack thereof, I imagine. And then how does that add an entirely different dimension than, okay, your brother's coming in, or I can sense something like a spiritual, and I know you are, I believe you, but doesn't that add like how did you handle that extra level?
It does put a different element to it, and I'm not a sex therapist by any strain, of the imagination, but what I would do is I would guide them and say, okay, since you are having issues in that particular arena of your life, have you tried, have you sought out, have you thought this? And there were things that would come in that maybe they were withholding, what they would like to do with their significant other, okay? And I would just kind of go over that with them. I wouldn't get into gory details or, really get into like nitty gritty of like, okay, we should be doing it this way.
Well, I just have this horrible vision of somebody coming to you with a sex problem. You go, I got nothing,
and
having to move on to the next one. Like that seems like that would be the absolute worst scenario. But it definitely, I mean, there's a need. I think people are just reaching out for a connection, and whatever their beliefs are, kind of lead them to the right person, whether it be the love and sex psychic or a psychic or a spiritualist or religion or wherever you're at. People are desperate for a need to connect.
Exactly.
And so
exactly.
That's awesome. You have a master's in psychology. Wow, I can't wait to get summed up later. I'm going to be watch out. All right, so you do Jenna, thank you, Jenna. She is beyond cute, she says.
Aw, thank you.
So you go past that. So the show's gone.
Correct.
And then what's your next foray? What's your next
My
business?
next foray was just,
you went into corporate,
into
right?
the corporate world.
And how was that? That seems like the complete opposite of who you are.
Yeah, it really truly is. I mean, I'm not going to, bash or badmouth corporations. However, they do have a bottom line that they need to attend to, which is great, but however, I just didn't play well in the sandbox with corporations. So it led me to my last job that I had, where I was finding myself at a certain age, just redirecting and really trying to reevaluate my life, which led me to writing my book, The Power Within, Discovering the PAR Method. What I've realized is that there are people out there that get stuck into patterns, okay? And it really is true in your finances, in your relationships, whatever you're doing, you do get stuck into patterns. For instance, women, especially, and some men, they get stuck into the pattern of dating the same person with a different face, okay? And you're in these relationships, you're like, God, this last relationship was like this. What am I doing? So you keep doing this over and over. Even with jobs, you're going into the same job, different face, different corporation, different name, and you're stuck in this type of pattern. So I recognized in my own life I was doing that.
Don't you have to have the self-awareness, though? I mean, you obviously have the self-awareness, but I know a lot of people who are doing exactly what you're talking about in relationships, in jobs, careers, whatever it is, and they never want to accept the responsibility that they're the problem. So you've got all of these other things that are going on, and not that you're the problem, but you're the source. You're the one common denominator.
Exactly.
So there has to be some truth to the fact that maybe it's not the job or the company, maybe it's not the man or the woman, maybe it's you and what you're either seeking or putting out there.
Correct, and some of those patterns are basically attributed to your own truth. What is your own truth? What is your own passion? What is it that you really want to do in life? And with me, for as long as I can remember, I always wanted to make an impact in the world and help people. And, I'm like the flowery hippie child, I guess you could say. I want to help everybody. But it does come down to the point that what is your truth? What is your authentic self? And for me, it was like, I want to write and I want to help people. So I kind of, put the two together and got this book together and realized, okay, here are all these patterns that I've been doing. So now I had to come up with an action plan.
That is the difficult part, right? So you can identify all of the things that you might be doing wrong, and then all of the things that you want to do right, but then how do I take that first step, and what are the steps after?
Correct. And once you create an action plan, which I discuss in the book, is that you get your desired results. So that's why I call it the PAR method, the pattern, the action to the results.
Oh, that's what PAR stands for.
Yes.
See, we joke on the show that I spend the $3 on R&D on mine and my guest drinks. So I didn't know what PAR stood for. So say what PAR is again.
It's it's the pattern to get to the action for your desired results.
I love that. Okay,
yeah,
great.
So soon to be a PAR Institute one of these days. We'll see. But
Goals.
definitely goals. So when you really have to come to that point, and I did. I came to that point, looking at my life at at a certain age. I won't tell my age. But anyway.
30.
I'm 30. Yeah, I like that age. That's
30's
a good age.
I like 30.
Coming to that certain age and then realizing the corporate sector was not for me, and getting back to really peeling back the layers of my own soul and saying, okay, let's get clear. What is it that I truly want to do? And you probably will have to ask yourself those questions. What do I really want to do with my life? I mean, are you happy in the relationship? Are you settling in the relationship? Same thing with a job. Are you happy with that job? Did you just settle just to make it through? So you have to get really clear and be definitive with what it is you truly want to do. Once you identify, you're going to look at all these patterns and say, oh my God, I've repeated this pattern over and over again. All right, let's create an action plan. And that action plan is very in-depth, okay? And it's an exercise that I go ahead and talk about in the book of what this action plan is. Then you have the results. And those results will be attainable.
And do you define like up front, and we have a couple comments that I want to read. Up front, when you're defining it in your book and you're talking about the action plan, I think people will go, okay, I can figure out steps that I know inherently, I have an idea of what I need to do. But then setting the result, the real detailed result of what that is where a lot of people have difficulty.
Correct.
Same thing with law of attraction.
Correct.
They can't visualize in detail what they want. It's this giant, ethereal, lovely looking thing out in the world. I want world peace. Well, okay, we all want world peace, but how are you going to attain it? And what are some specific things?
When you say that.
Yeah, I left my crown in the car. Let me give you two comments.
Sure.
One from Josh Pies. Hey Josh, authenticity is useless without a place in your niche. Action plans are everything. Glad you focused on that part. I agree totally.
Thank you, Josh.
David Pamala says, Tisha, the real deal. Hugs to you both.
Oh,
so
thank you.
He's
Thank
awesome.
you.
They're both awesome. All right, so you're at the R part, results. How do you get that? How do you define that? How does somebody go into enough detail?
And that's a difficult part to go to because, again, all of these steps do take time. I mean, it's not something that's going to happen overnight. But like you said, the law of attraction, okay? And I just want to touch on something with the law of attraction. Everybody says, oh yeah, law of attraction, law of attraction. It's really the law of attention. That's the result. Where is your attention going, okay? So with the law of attraction, yeah, you could attract things because people do. If I think about somebody, and I want them to call me, boom, hello, it happens. That's a law of attraction. But you have to think about the attention. Where are you putting your attention? Are you putting your attention like, oh my God, I don't have enough money to pay my bills. How am I going to do this? No, you don't want to do that.
Correct.
You want to put your attention on, this is what I want to create. This is what the provider, the creator, God is going to bring to me.
Correct.
Okay? God, the creator, will bring this to me because, hello, if you ask in Matthew, ask, knock, and seek, or ask, seek, and knock. Sorry, I had it backwards there. That's one of the verses that I actually put in the PAR method because the Bible, the law of attraction, law of attention, all culminates together.
I wish people would get that.
Yeah,
it is a basic, universal law, regardless of your beliefs, and it spreads across everything and everything we've ever known, and it's in every book, every religious book, every spiritualist book. It's there. So the attention, though, that's so smart because what happens is people get into it and they say, all right, I want to pay off my house. I'll use something like that.
Right.
Then they're going to spend the next, I don't know, forever going, I can't pay off my house. I can't pay off my house.
Correct. So
oh my God, what am I going to do? So you've completely negated everything that you're going to do. I'm not saying it's easy. Believe me, I do the same thing. I try to practice it, and then it creeps into all of our minds where none of us here, not Tisha, not me, and nobody expects you to be perfect at that.
Correct.
But it is about the attention you give things.
And the more attention you give something negative, guess what? You're going to be in that sediment, I call, of negative and creating more negative. Because I tell you something, negative attracts negative quicker than the positive, okay? And because think about it, when, girlfriends are calling up and talking about their man or whatever's going on, and this vibe goes out there. So what you want to do is create that attention to the positive so that you have that, Okay, more positive will attract positive, and it's all about the attention. Energy goes where the source flows. So that's,
correct.
Yeah.
And that's why when you're focusing or giving attention to negative, there's no choice but for that to come back to you. I don't know how else to explain it. And David's right. And you're right, David. There are people out there that get it. You're here. I agree. But we all do struggle with it. I think that's the thing I love to talk about on the show, is that we're not perfect. She wrote a book. That doesn't mean every single day for her is 100% perfect.
Correct.
And she has people dropping off buckets full of money to her and happiness and all of that. It's a constant thing that you're doing, and a mindset and a lifestyle that you lead.
And the way I approach my day is the first thing in the morning that I do is I always say thank you. You know, before my feet even touch the ground, it's like, thank you. If you are in the state of gratitude first thing in the morning, I spend about probably 30 minutes every morning thinking of things that I'm grateful for. Okay, I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my daughter. I'm grateful for, you know, my friends that are out there. I am grateful that I have a place that, you know, that I live in, that I have, you know, the ability to get around and help others. You know, so even if you're grateful for the clothes that you're wearing, be in a state of gratitude, because you don't know what's going to happen, you know, if you're not in the state of gratitude. So gratitude is the biggest thing. And if you're in that level of gratitude, you watch, your world is going to change like that.
And it's not, and Yuli said, I love your guest. Hey, Yuli. She's awesome. But what happens is people take it to this level where, okay, I've got to go out and I've got to buy 6 journals, and each journal has to have this and that, and they go from having no gratitude to expecting the fact that they have to have all of these journals that they're told to do. I'm not discounting journals. I'm just suggesting that maybe you need to really start at the basics, which is what Tisha's saying. In the morning, get up and just open your eyes and think of the things you're grateful for. The first one I would think of is, thank you that I opened my eyes today.
Exactly.
So I think that people get so caught up in the process. It's the joke I always make about people go to the self-help section in the bookstores when we had bookstores, and they think they're going to, through osmosis, cure whatever ails them and what's going on in their lives. And it doesn't mean that they're changing any of their behavior. They just think they can read it away.
Correct.
So you can't write it away, but you can certainly take steps and eventually get to that. But people get discouraged because they want to jump from point A to point Z and do none of the work in between.
Correct. And we are in such a society that we want everything like this.
We do.
You know, we go through fast food, we get it like this. We go through ordering something on Amazon, a day later it's there. If you want to do the work, the self-help work, okay, it's not going to take overnight to do something. It's taken me, over 50 years, I'm going to say it, okay, to get to where I need to be, okay? And it has been hard work, you know. It has been, I mean, like Ted said, I have days where I'm like going, oh my God, you know, but then I have the days where I'm like, thank you for the blessings that have been bestowed upon me. And it's a miraculous, you know, and I mean it, miraculous journey that we are all on, you know, and we are here to help one another out. We are all connected by one single thread, and I believe that's love. I really do.
Agree. So, I totally agree with that. All right, so I could talk about this all day long, but I want to give you some shout out and want you to be able to talk about your 501c3 as well.
Yes,
so let's do that.
So I have a nonprofit organization which is called Together Let's Grow. It is in its infancy. What the basic premise of that is to help military veterans who are homeless. So this was the brainchild of my dear father. His name is Edwin Boss. He is departed. However, he jumped out of airplanes for World War II and was at the base of Iwo Jima when they were putting up the flag, and his buddy says, hey, look, they're putting up the flag, and he got hit with shrapnel. Well, he came home to a very warm welcome. He noticed years later that the guys that were coming back were not getting the warm welcome. He also noticed that there was a homeless situation with military veterans. So my dad, out of the goodness of his heart, he would give you the shirt off his back and shoes off his feet. He would go out there and spend money every year to get these little military packages together and give like toiletries, socks, little, you know, candies, whatever it was, and start giving them out to these, you know, to the homeless. Sometimes he would house the homeless military at my parents' home, and my mom would be going, what are you doing? But, you know, hey, that's my mother, the Italian, Sicilian side of her.
Oh, there's where it is.
There
you said French. I'm like, there's got to be Italian.
Yeah, there is.
I'm Italian.
And so, you know, he would help these people, and he was always doing that. So eventually I talked to him and said we should do some type of nonprofit. And I got all the paperwork together. It was only me, myself, and I that did all of this. I had people who looked at what I was doing, made sure everything was legitimate. I am through SunBiz. You could look at my foundation there.
Let's talk about that just for a second.
Sure.
We want to encourage you all to be incredibly
persistent.
Persistent's a good word. I was really struggling with that. In your effort to vet the organizations that you're working with. And organizations like Tisha's, when she's putting it out there, check it out and make sure they have a 501c3.
Correct.
If that's what they're saying, and they're saying they run a charity, you have to make sure. And if there's as long as they're not out there advertising they're a 501c3 and they're not, there are people who are in process. Correct. It is a process itself. But you really do need to ask the right questions. And we both encourage you to do that.
Absolutely.
On any level, but especially when it comes to homeless and our veterans, please. So,
exactly. And these guys, I'm sorry, I didn't catch up, but these guys, they have, they've really done a hard job to keep us safe. And for them to come back to, maybe they're coming back to, they don't have a place to go, or they've gotten divorced in the interim, or they have PTSD, and they can't handle this. And these guys are on the street. And it's heartbreaking. It really is heartbreaking to see this. And my organization, what I'm doing, I also need board members. So if anybody's interested.
And look, Glenda just popped on. Hi, Glenda.
Hi, Glenda. I love you.
We love you.
So if anybody wants, to be a part of the board, because eventually, as I was telling Ted, is that I want to have meetings, for when we do get funds in, which I have been housing myself and funding myself, that these funds are allocated properly. Not that they're going to, line the pockets of people. So we want to make sure, and I want to make sure that these funds are allocated properly. And that's what I'm trying to do. So I'm in the infancy stages. I'm learning a lot. I definitely want to, make a difference in these lives that these guys have, really sacrificed for. And I'm very passionate about it.
And I love that you're passionate about it. And Glenda's also on here, so I definitely want to read what she said. She said, there are many scammers in Central Florida, and I am sure all over it. She seems more are here in our area. Hello. And that's what we were just mentioning is please vet everyone. I don't care what charity you're contributing to. Please vet them. Make sure they're really a 501c3. It's very easy to look up on SunBiz, right?
Absolutely.
There's a lot of ways.
Sunbiz.org, and you could put in either my name, or you could put in the charity's name. Now, my charity is called Together Let's Grow Inc. Okay, you will find it, and my legal name that's on it is Patricia Boss. So I'm putting it out there for everybody to look at.
Who's Patricia Boss?
That's me. That's my legal name.
I get it.
But and as I said, when you're starting up an organization, you have to make sure that you are dotting your I's and crossing your T's and making sure everything is legitimate, because you don't want to get in trouble, okay?
Correct.
And I'm sure in the news you probably have seen some that have, not been too good.
A lot of them. Glenda's right, and we were talking about earlier, it seems like it's epidemic now.
Yeah.
You just have to be so careful. I have a group of vets that I send anything to and have them check it out, because they're going to vet it, so to speak, as much as anybody else is, because they don't want their brothers and sisters to be had.
Exactly.
So leave them with, it goes by fast, right?
Yes,
so
it does.
leave them with some parting words, some words of wisdom from Tisha Ferron.
Tisha Ferron. Well, I do have to say this. First of all, thank you again.
You have been an awesome guest. I really appreciate your honesty. You dove right in. I love that, and I love what we talk about. I think it's so important. I wish we could get people to talk about that more. Happy Monday, Marty. Thanks for tuning in. So give them some parting words.
Well, first of all, when you're on a journey, okay, whether it be personal development, whether it, trying to find your way through life, always think about yourself, okay? Not in an egotistical way or something about that, but if you want to make a change, you can do it. And learn to listen to self, because when you're listening to self, that's coming from God, universe, creator, however you choose to believe, whatever your faith is. I myself, have a very deep faith myself.
Me too.
And I have learned that if you learn to listen, if you learn to be in gratitude, then you can definitely make an impact and change, not only yourself, but the world as well.
I agree. You're awesome. Thank you so much for coming out. You were amazing. She's so awesome. I mean, I could talk to you all day long.
Thank you.
I think there are more people out there that need to hear your message. And when will your book be released?
It's going to be released February, hopefully before Valentine's Day. I will keep you posted. If you want to go to my Facebook page, you can find me under Tisha Ferron. I could also be reached at the Law of Attraction 7 Keys at gmail.com. And I also have the website, which it's in its infancy. Okay, all of you web developers out there, please don't laugh at my website because I designed it.
We don't laugh.
But
we support.
I need help.
We support.
But it's lawofattraction7keys.com. So that is what my
You're
website
awesome.
is.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. We have a show where, again, I told you in the kind of the week schedule, actually I posted today's schedule. We're trying different times out. We're trying different ways of promoting. We want to get so much. There's so many good people, and Glenda just said it. She's right. There are many, many more amazing people out there over the bad, so we're going to focus on the good and try to get their word out and their story out. We have a 1 o'clock show with Steve Black, and then we have a 2:30 show with Allie McCarroll. So we're going to see how 3 shows goes today. I'm going to have a lot of coffee mugs. Here we go. God help us at 3 o'clock. So thank you. You were awesome. So I'll post everything where you can reach out to Tisha. And God bless you guys. We love you. Talk to you soon.
Bye.